Hello friends, welcome to NPL Week 1, I almost said PPL. um, we are up against Aster J and the Montreal Habsols, and we've played him before, back in minors 2 seasons ago. He jumped up to majors the same season that we did, we just never got a chance to play each other, and now that we have our own teams, we do get to play each other, and that's exciting. We get to play each other Week 1. Now, Aster's not doing too hot in the GBA right now. If I'm not mistaken, at the time of this recording, he's like 1 in X, and they're on maybe 1 in 6, 1 in 5. I don't know. I don't watch GBA much. But his team's really scary in the NPL. He has big threats like Coco, Mega Arrow, Durant, especially for the team that I'm bringing. As you can see above, Durant kind of fists this team. I do have answers to Durant in the form of Donphan and Skarm, but it just didn't match up well with like his other threats. But anyway, this is also the guy who took my Como, and Como is really annoying for this team. But let's jump into the match, or I guess what I brought. First things first, we have Scarf Tarak with rocks. Rocks are kind of nice this game if I can get them. If not, they're whatever. Scarf because I need an answer to Mega Arrow and Coco. Those two are really big threats, and Scarf Tarak kind of gets rid of them. Stealth Rocks is super nice. In theory, I could probably lure it. Like if I set up rocks and then switch out, he might not think I'm Scarf. And that's hopefully a goal I can accomplish. Up next is Comfy. Comfy is Babiri Berry, Calm Mind, HP Fire to let me damage stuff like Fortress and Amoonguss a bit more. But overall it's not doing a ton of damage. I need Amoonguss dead for me to win. And Amoonguss seems like such a must bring for him, just based on the composition of my team and my draft as a whole. I really think Amoonguss is coming, potentially with AV or as the Rocky Helmet Mon. I think Como is going to be defensive Rocky Helmet, or the Amoonguss is going to be defensive Rocky Helmet, and one of those is going to be the Kang answer. I'm leaning towards Como with an AV Amoonguss or like a Spadef Amoonguss, but we'll have to see. Jolteon is part of the main win con here, which I will get to in just a second. It is sub pass, and it's really great. It's my Coco check. It's a pretty good Coco check. It's outspeeding my Greninja, I think. Let me double check. Greninja's max speed. No, it's out. Oh, Adamant Arrow is what it's actually outspeeding. That's right. I couldn't remember for a second. But the basic idea is I click substitute and I pass it into Venomoth as the Amoonguss clicks Giga Drain, because Amoonguss is the main check to Jolteon on his team, in my opinion anyway, and so he's going to attack the Jolteon with Giga Drain or with Sludge Bomb, and if he Giga Drains, awesome. Even if he just Sludge Bombs, doesn't matter. Either way, Venomoth stays behind the sub because the Giga Drain is ×4 resisted and Sludge Bomb can't break. And then I get to Bug Buzz. I get to Quiver Dance, in its face, or as he switches out. Either way, fantastic. This thing kind of wins. It just needs 2 things taken care of. It needs the Mega Arrow dead or weakened, and it needs the Soundproof Como dead. Those are the only 2 things that live a +1 Z Buzz. I also need to check to see what his Scarfer is to make sure it's not a Scarf Silvally or something like a Scarf Coco. Scarf Mellow would speed tie this thing if he goes max speed, and so ideally if I see a Meloetta and things like that, I do want 2 quivers. I need the Como dead though, and I need the Arrow dead, and this just hard walls the Amoonguss. And the basic idea, as I'm just going to show the rest of the team because the rest of the team is just kind of excess at this point. The main idea with this team composition is I use my Mega Kangaskhan here to break either the Amoonguss or the Como, whichever one is his setup is his check to this. Once Kang breaks one of those two, then if it breaks the Como, then that opens up for Yanmega to I was reading the name of my Venomoth. It opens up the window. It opens the door for Venomoth to sweep. If his check to Kang is a Helmet Amoonguss, then killing the Amoonguss then opens the door for my Comfy to sweep, and one of them should sweep in theory, and that's the game plan I'm going with this game. Big threats are, of course, the Durant. The Mega Arrow being alive is really annoying because it kind of checks things and it lives things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like an offensive HP Fire variant of Amoonguss, and if he just never lets me keep a sub up, that would be really annoying. And he calls my what's it called? He calls my sub turns really well. That could be super frustrating. But let's jump into the battle. As you can see, he brings the Como, he brings the Mellow, he brings the Arrow, he brings the Amoonguss, Coco, and Volley. I don't know what the Volley is. I didn't see many Volleys in Mox. I saw one and it was Water, and I thought that was really stupid. Because Volley is just super passive against me. I really expected that Volley slot to be Durant or some other sort of offensive threat, or maybe something, I don't know. Diggersby was a big problem for this team. Durant just kind of 6-0s this team, if it's like Z Homeclaws or something, or Darkium in general. Just going general game plan, I'm leading with Kang and I'm going in, and let me click that. So I lead Kang, he leads Coco. I think I Ice Punch. He named his Como something very mean. No, I Power Punch because that was my general game plan, to always Power Up Punch the Como. Always Power Up Punch on the first turn. And now I go for Ice Punch, and I don't know if that was a roll. It might have been a roll combined with, like, I don't know, but either way, problem solved. Problem solved, Como is dead. That immediately, alright, I know how I'm winning. Venomoth can win this game. I just need some damage on the Arrow, and I need 2 quivers at this point because I'm not sure if the Mellow Scarf, it looks Scarf on this lineup. He brings back the Coco, and I just let the Kang die because it's whatever at this point. I go into my Jolteon, and I T-Bolt to sort of scout what this thing wants to do as he U-turns, and I find out that my Jolteon is faster than the Coco, and that's good to know. That means he is likely only creeping max speed Gren, which I find kind of interesting that he wouldn't try to speed tie this or anything like that, because I could have been like Specs or something, because uninvested T-Bolt did 34. If I was a Spec set against this team, just look at it, it's just gross. Or if I was like Quick Feet, ugh. Oh god, I almost clicked reset. Oh gosh. In comes the Amoonguss, as I expected. I'm going to sub. He ends up breaking, and that's really frustrating. I sub again because it's supposedly a roll, and I do get the roll, so that's useful. And now I can Baton Pass into my Venomoth on his Giga Train, which barely breaks the sub. And here I sub again, just to show him who's in charge, as he Clear Smogs. Because of that series of plays, I was forced to reveal that I had sub, and that was annoying. So, as he switches into his Aerodactyl, as I'm like scratching my neck, I Quiver Dance, and I have to Quiver again for this reason and this reason alone. There's this Scarf Meloette over there. I could have clicked Z move and then done normal Buzz, and that would have really fucked him over. But being at 51 now, I am in range of a max speed Timid Mellow Hyper Voice, so that's kind of annoying. And if he is Psyshock with Scarf, then that's super annoying. And I really needed this Venomoth. So here I decide to Quiver again as he potentially misses his edge, but he brings Aerial Ace, good for him. And here is where things go from I'm in charge and it looks like I'm about to win to I really hate myself. I had no reason not to click sub there. If we look at it, I was +2. The only way the arrow dies is with a Z move. He sees that I have no leftovers, or black sledge I should say. So he should expect me to be Z move on this thing. That means his plays are A, he switches out and sacks something to the incoming Z move, or B, he attacks me as I click substitute, predicting him to pick a fodder. Now, I didn't see a point in him staying in him switching out. And I say this because sub was a really easy play to make, and if I subbed as he switched, he lost the game 100,000%. Like, there was no way he was, because if I'm behind a sub, I can quiver to +3, and then I don't even need a Z move to kill the arrow, and then I win again. And then I just flat out win. 100%, it's game over. So, him switching made very little sense to me, because a volley water can live, and it can then, like, hit me with a surf, or a multi-attack, or something, rock slide. It could break my Venomoth. It should be able to kill my Venomoth in one hit, or T-wave it, or whatever. Because I felt like sub was my only play. And because I figured he couldn't let me sub, there was zero, like, he lost the game if I clicked substitute. I figured he would stay in, and he would attack me, and judging by how I'm going over this, like, for 3 whole minutes, I end up clicking Z move, expecting him to stay in and realize this situation he's in. He unfortunately does not, and here I make a weird play where I switch out and sack my Jolteon, but I need the Venomoth because at the moment it's the only thing that can kill the stupid Amoonguss. So, play is still to try and win with Venomoth. Here, I make an interesting play. I thought about it. I thought about it a lot, actually. This was a low roll Stone Edge on this Amoonguss. I debated clicking rocks and using a later turn to sort of set up and go for game with Venomoth, but I didn't really see an opportunity for me to get 2 quivers up again, especially now that this Amoonguss knows the whole spiel. So I decided to go for the Miracle Edge and hope that he stays in. He does not, obviously, because he has a very safe switch, and I could have crit or brought this low enough to where Gren can kill it, or Gren can force it out, and Gren suddenly looks like a pretty good win con, as well as Comfy. If everything was just low enough, if this Amoonguss got low enough, then Gren or Comfy can come in and try and clean it, Venomoth can come in and try and clean it, and all would be well. So I land 1 Stone Edge, I hope to land the other one in crit or hit or get a higher roll, but I miss one. I'm like, alright, this is fine. If I hit this other one, I can get it low. I missed that one too, and I die to the Giga Drain. The Amoonguss is back at full, and the game is pretty much over at this point, because I can't do anything. And he does reveal to have HP Fire, meaning I do need Quiver Dances to beat this. I have to quiver in its face as the arrow comes in. I have to switch out because I need that Venomoth to beat this stupid Amoonguss. I Draining Kiss here as he taunts me. So good play on his part, bringing taunt to beat my calm mindset. That's fine, whatever. I U-turn expecting him to go into his Amoonguss as I go into my arrow, and I have to Shuriken because I just lose to this arrow and I need him to choke. And he obviously doesn't choke because Ice Beam's going to do a clean 30%, and I just die to the Giga Drain. I bring in Who the Hell Cares because at this point the game is over. My choke with... I'm going to keep calling it a choke because I expected Aster to make an aggressive play that would keep him from losing the game, and he didn't. And I guess that's on me. Maybe it's on him. I don't like blaming my opponents for my losses when I had a very easy play to make, and he I don't, he predicted me to be aggressive, I guess, and he made the really safe sack play. I don't know. Anyway, I've been rambling a bit too much about this game. Aster wins 4-0, and we start off with a loss. Not a great start to the season, but hopefully we could turn it around. Next week we play Rob Jr., and we are currently 0-3 against Rob Jr., so we're hoping to change that with our game next week. So I will catch you guys next time. Peace.